Well, thank you, Tracy, Carl, SPN's Board of Directors, as well as Shirley Rowe for this honor. And thank you, too, to my Institute for Justice colleagues who are with us tonight. You certainly share in this recognition. Thank you to Kerry, Drew, Helen, Molly, and Patrick for that wonderful video. That's something I'll treasure for years to come. And finally, thank you to my wife, Holly, for being an inspiration for me in our 30 years of marriage. Trying to impress you has been the driving force of my life from the day we met. In a tiny church in a tiny New Hampshire town, a Christian missionary from Africa was delivering a plea for assistance. He said, if we only had $200 for a rowboat, my mission could row across the lake where we live, and we could bring the word of God to those on the opposite shore, the natives, who've never heard the gospel. In the congregation of that tiny church was a widow. She had been left with 9 children and no inheritance to speak of. She supported her family as a public school teacher, working part-time, helping kids with learning disabilities. She had received a paycheck. It was an actual paper check back in those days, but she got it too late to deposit it because there were also these things called banker's hours. As the missionary concluded his talk, the ushers took up the collection. This widow opened her purse. Her kids looked over to see if she might direct $1 their way to drop into the basket. Instead, she did something remarkable. She took out that paycheck and she endorsed the entire thing over to the church so that missionary could have the boat that he needed to share the gospel. Each of her kids panicked in the face of that act of charity. Charity not given out of surplus, but out of genuine need. How would they pay for food? How would they pay for oil to heat their home with winter fast approaching? Everyone in that family knew the daily hardships they already faced. They lived paycheck to paycheck. And here was their mother giving away an entire paycheck as an act of faith. That woman, that widow, was my mom, Therese Kramer. I was her youngest. I want you to know, we did not go hungry, and we did not go cold. The missionary left the church with the funds that he needed to buy that boat, thanks to the widow's might. But the story doesn't end there. A couple from our parish, the Quinlans, learned about my mother's act of charity. They secretly paid our entire heating bill that winter, an enormous sum compared to what my mother had contributed. Because they wanted to remain anonymous, it took me more than 30 years to finally definitively find out that it was indeed the Quinlans who saved our family that winter. So why do I donate paintings to worthy causes like SPN or to Christ House? Or why do I work to build up those around me? Because I saw the example of my mother. I saw the example of the Quinlans. Why has Shirley Rowe created this award? To honor her late husband? Because she saw Tom in action. She saw his values and his spirit, and she wanted Tom to inspire others for generations to come. And that's what I'd like to talk to you about tonight, the importance of that chain of instructive inspiration. As I mentioned, I lost my father when I was very young. I was 2.5 years old. I never really knew him. But my mother gave me a great piece of advice in the context of that loss. She said, you may not have a father, but you have plenty of father figures around you. Study them, emulate them, make their best traits your best traits. And that has been a lifetime obsession for me. From my uncles, I learned the importance of having a strong work ethic and always keeping your word. From my teachers, I learned the importance of studying history and civics and writing. From Chip Miller, IJ's first president, I learned by example the importance of staying true to your values and your vision. From Clint Bullock, IJ's other co-founder, I learned the importance of always facing challenges with a joy-filled heart. One day, Clint and I were facing a particularly infuriating problem, and Clint said, hey, we can solve this problem and be happy, or we can solve this problem and be angry. I choose to be happy. What an instructive bit of inspiration for us all. You can choose to face your challenge, any challenge, with a happy heart. It's no wonder that both Chip and Clint are each Roe Award winners. I'm truly honored to join in their ranks. When we challenge ourselves to take on the best qualities of others, we are harnessing a life-changing force. That ability, that willingness to change is the secret to a rewarding life. Think about it for a minute. Think about the people that you know who are successful and happy. Likewise, think about those who are chronically miserable and failing. Have you pieced together what separates those two groups? Nearly all of the difference is found in how you handle the fear of the unknown. It is the people who embrace that fear, who grow and learn and improve, who become better equipped to take on whatever life throws at them. The more you welcome that challenge to improve, drawing inspiration from others, the more you will experience the world around you. And the more you experience, the more you think. And the more you think, the more you learn. And the more you learn, the fewer frustrations you will feel and the braver you will become. It all starts with embracing that chain of inspiration, of recognizing in others the qualities you want in yourself, and then making them part of who you are. Happiness is found in learning. And learning, real and deep and true learning, can only come from action. So keep the faith and keep at it, because it matters, because your work matters. Seek out inspiration from those around you and live in such a way that you inspire others. We can't all be that missionary rowing across that lake, nor should we be. We each have our own critical role to play in this movement. Whether we're marketers or attorneys, administrators or policy analysts, or any other role in the free market movement, we can ensure that those around us have the resources and support and example that they need to succeed and spread the word of freedom. Now let's go get them. Thank you.